Patrick, what really stood out to me, man, from watching your highlight videos, yes, you have very good athleticism, but it was also your strength of the times guys were trying to gang tackle you and everything else, but you were able to break through that and still go on and keep running and everything. That's what really stood out to me, man. So just keep doing that and just keep being you. My suggestions for your highlight video are the following. First thing is your information slide at the beginning. Great information slide. We only need to add your school and your email. Okay, those two things will help us out. That way the coach knows where for the school-wise and the email-wise. That way if they ever need to send you a questionnaire or anything like that, they can do that. Okay, so but we also want to make sure that we've got that information slide because a coach's time is very short and valuable. And if we don't have that information present for them, they have to go track that down. And when they're watching 60 to 100 kids in a day, they don't have the time to do that. Okay, so that's where making sure that we do that will be very beneficial just to help us out in our recruiting process for that coach. So they don't, because personally, I have had to pass on people because of that. I couldn't find their information and I couldn't keep spending too much time, and so I just had to go on. All right. Next, removing play/stun highlights. And this is more anything that doesn't showcase your strength or transfer to the next level as much. And it's more the only play I had for you was that scrimmage play. Okay, just need to take that one out, all right, because coaches just want to see game film, all right? That's all they want to see. They don't want to see 7-on-7s, individual workouts, or scrimmages, or anything like that, okay? So just game film, so take that out. Next is remove the music, all right? Great song. Great song, okay? Just remove the music, though, because we don't want it to be a distraction to the college coaches, okay? So when they're watching your film, what they're doing is they're sitting in a dark room, lamp on, and they got their own music going and stuff like that, okay? And we don't want to have them get distracted from something else and change how they're evaluating your film. Okay, and so that's where we want to make sure we just take that out. All right. Next, going to the sequence of plays. Okay, and how it's going to flow. All right, how we're going to kind of piece things together and everything else. So we've got it all broken down into sections. Okay, we've got your long TDs. All right, your short TDs. So anything 25 and in, red zone type stuff. All right, your explosives, anything 15 to 20 plus yards down the field. Your movements, so sometimes when you have other designed runs that maybe aren't as big, or rollouts, gap, or stepping up into pressure. Probably the rollouts, because of the type of offense you guys run, the rollouts and like stepping up with pressure and stuff would be more for you. And the remaining offensive highlights is more not necessarily an explosion play, but still a good play that showcases what you can do. Okay, and I'll kind of go over that here in a minute, kind of what we're looking at. But within each of these sections, you want to put all your pass plays first, and then all your run plays for that. All right, so to kind of give you an example, and we want to put our best plays first also, because we want to capture those coach's attention early and keep them watching. All right, so for you, on the 24-second mark here, okay, the long touchdown we've got here, all right, this is the one I would start out with. Now, if he did not catch this, I don't know if the view keeps going or whatnot. If the official puts his hands up, okay, signals touchdown, put that in there. If not, might be kind of leery of putting it in there because some coaches will question it, some won't. All right, so just giving you a heads up on that. But still a good ball, giving them a chance in the back corner. That's where it needs to be. Okay. Next, your very first clip you got on here, the 4 seconds. So we've done a pass plays. Okay. Now we go to our run plays. All right. Putting our best ones on there. The reason I put this one first, show off that long speed. Okay. Show off that speed. What we're talking about, the athleticism. Okay. Then I go back how you've got that one, and then put your other one of when you're breaking the tackles and everything else. Okay. That's where I go there. Next, go into your short TDs. Okay. At the 159 mark here. All right. Not too far, misclicked. Okay, but our short TD, okay, here, but just still showcasing what we're able to do, how we can read things, okay, and it all depends. Boom, being able to cut that thing inside, and not just have to outrun everybody. Okay, fantastic job there. Then we'll bounce back to the 106 mark. All right, to show you're explosive. Okay, remember we're trying to get past to run. So if we got passes, put them in there. So that's what we're going for. Boom. Good pass play, 15, 20 plus yards down the field, right in front of that safety, right with your receiver can get it. So that's what we want to put first. Put your other passes, and then put your runs. Okay. Now your movement at the 52-second mark. Okay. That's what we're kind of looking for, like I talked about with the rollout stuff, stepping up into pressure, things like that. So this one is a rollout. All right. Rolling out to the right. Boom. Good ball. Okay. Not necessarily 15 yards down the field, but still rolling out, showcasing what we can do there. Okay. That's what we're looking for within that section. Now, your remaining offensive highlight. We're going to go down to the 236 mark here. Okay. All right, and we're going to show this one. This one's your little out comeback route we got over here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, ball's there, boom, right where it needs to be. Okay, like I said, not a big play, 10-yard dig, out routes, comeback, stuff like that. Just showing out what we're doing on time. Those are the ones we're looking for. Okay, now all this is also going to depend on what you're kind of wanting to look for with what position you want to hit. Okay, but that's going to, we'll talk about that here in a second. That's also going to depend on what type of schools we're attacking with our recruiting, what kind of camps we're going to, what are coaches looking at you for, and stuff like that. Okay, if they're looking at you as a runner, or just they're going to bring you as an athlete, quarterback, and that, because coaches will do that. Okay, I leave it like this. All right, but that's where the flow right now, being a quarterback, that's how I would make up your sequence of everything. Okay, so on your information slide, just add the school and the email. All right, remove that one scrimmage clip, remove the music, and then change up that sequence. And overall, this provide a more dynamic highlight video for college coaches. Now, After going over the game film feedback, let's take a look at what divisions you should target. Okay, I'm basing this off the most recent highlight video, which is exactly what college coaches are going to do, and where the athlete can receive a scholarship right now. Okay, now this is based on a few criteria. First thing is graduation year. All right, you're up, so this is where we're really looking at. Okay, but they're also, so we need to know, we've got camps we got to get figured out. All right, make sure we're in our communication process and how in this short window we can keep improving. Okay, but next they're going to look at your size, mobility, accuracy, and arm strength as a quarterback. Okay, and I want you to understand this is a current evaluation opposed to a projected evaluation. All right, so that makes a difference on some things. Now, with that being said, the levels you should look at today for a scholarship are NAI, excuse me, in that low to mid D2 level. Okay, now you should start getting interest and offers from these college coaches at these levels, and if not, you need to start the communication process with these coaches through emailing and calling them right away. Okay, you've got to get on the ball for that if you haven't got anything. Okay, now this also kind of comes into play like what we're talking about of what position are we really going to kind of aim for. If you're winning quarterback, go after it. Okay, just know how we're going to do it, what schools you need to attack and stuff like that. Okay, you need to make sure you're marketing and branding yourself in the correct way. All right, but then also you need to make sure you're starting to get your name out there through social media, following these coaches on X, DMing these coaches. Once you update your highlight video, boom, send it to them through DM. Coach, can't wait to see. Can you send me camp information? Okay, just trying to get in communication with these coaches is going to be big for you. All right, but then also with these camps coming up, okay, and we should be signed up for them by now. All right, we don't want to necessarily go to these mega camps. There's 1,000 different kids there, okay, and it's very hard to really get a true evaluation, especially for your circumstance of trying to figure out, okay, which coaches want me for what position. Okay, they want me as an athlete, or they want me as a quarterback, or they want me running, receiver, or whatever, because kind of how you had them listed and stuff like that too. Okay, so for you, maybe you first need to get in contact with these coaches and send them your film to see whether or not these coaches like your film, because if they do, then that's the camp you need to go to. If they like your film and want you at their camp, okay, that's going to be beneficial. You can introduce yourself to these coaches. Try to see if you can set up a meeting and say, hey, coach, what kind of position are you looking at me for? So when I come to camp, I know what I can kind of need to work on and stuff like that. All right, trying to get in contact with them then. You can introduce yourself, but when you're there, you can start building that relationship. Okay, they're going to see you run that 40, the speed. That's what they want to see. All right, they want to see your height and weight. Okay, but then they want to see how you're going to move. So maybe if they put you in certain drills, you can start building that relationship. Say the running back coach say, hey, I want you to do this, this, and this. Receiver coach, hey, I want you to do this, this, and this. Quarterback coach, hey, throw this 10-yard out route or throw this post route. Okay, they kind of get that relationship a little bit more when you get to the smaller groups, smaller handful of schools, or one-on-one camps. Okay, that plays a big dividends. But here's the deal: when they start doing all this stuff, okay, then you send them that midseason highlight. They're going to have that relationship with you, and they're going to know who they're watching. Okay, and that's going to be a big deal because of that relationship. But here's the deal: how can we also attack these levels and get better? Right? Because that's what we're trying to do. Okay, my suggestion to improve your game that translates to college football and possibly a higher division are the following. First thing, quarterback wise, accuracy. Okay, working on catch and throw drills, simulating throwing bubbles, fast screens, quick game. Okay, working on our drop drills and starting from the ground up because if the feet are right, everything else has got a good chance. Okay, doing mechanic drills, aim small, miss small when you're doing these. Okay, because college football, the windows get smaller as the defenders get faster. One thing that's really that I think will help guys is film study. Learning to leave the receivers open at all three levels by knowing where the windows will be at based on the coverage you're getting and the concepts you're running. Okay, if you can help that football IQ, that's going to help you out in the classroom at the college level. Okay, next, arm strength. Okay, this is going to come through your core and your leg strength. All right, doing squats, exercises that deal with explosion for that power. Okay, single leg stuff, quick twitch stuff, doing these is going to help give you more zip on that ball to have more zip on the ball to account for those faster players in college. Okay, footwork drills, shuffle and weave, between over back, figure eight with cones, gap pressure simulation drills. Okay, make sure when you're doing all these, you've got a good base and a football in your hand. This is going to help your mobility and your pocket awareness. All right, which can translate to the college level. So college coaches are looking for quarterbacks who are mobile in football today, okay, which you're showing that. But then at the same time, if something breaks down in a play, you're dropping back, and if you can extend it, they want to know, can a guy extend a play if something breaks down? Okay. Next is ball security, having that thing high and tight. You can practice this while you're doing your footwork drills or sprints, because if you can't protect the football, your chance of playing is going to go down. All right, so you got to make sure you're protecting the football. Flexibility, pre and post training stretching. That's part of that individual work, because if you guys don't do your own stretching as a team, you got to do it on your own. This is going to help prevent injury. Okay. Because your best ability is your availability. If you're dinged up and nicked up over this next year, that's going to hurt your chance of video, which will then hurt your chance of an offer. Okay, you're dinged up and nicked up in college, all right, that's going to hurt your chance on the depth chart. So you got to make sure you're taking care of your body. Okay, as a quarterback, excuse me, as a quarterback, you definitely got to make sure you're taking care of your body. Okay, because you got to take care of that arm. All right, trust me, being a 4-1 quarterback myself, I understand the importance of that. Okay, but these improvements are what a quarterback college coach will look at. So double down, do all these things, hit it hard, and if it translates to your video, this can help you level up your evaluation and possibly have an opportunity at that upper D2 level. But Patrick, at the end of the day, man, everything's really going to come down to your individual work, your outreach, as well as your marketing on social media, and that relationship building with college coaches, which you're going to find out is very important. Which is why the next step is your athlete interview, where you're going to get an interview with a coach and get coached on communication and your interviewing skills. which is critical for the conversations you're about to start having with college coaches. Okay, so make sure you watch the video beforehand to be ready to go. If you have any questions, we'll be able to answer them at the end of the interview. Thank you.